Hi, I'm Meg.
And I'm David.
Welcome to The Average Vegans, a podcast to help you live an attainable vegan lifestyle. We're not the ripped influencer vegans you hear about in other podcasts. We're just some ordinary people living in the South, eating plants and loving animals.
So on today's episode, we are talking about soy-free vegan options. We had
Yes.
a close friend contact us, Karen.
A little shout out to Karen.
Heart, I'm doing a little heart, the whole heart hand thing. Little heart.
She can feel our
She
love
feel
through
it.
the mics.
Yeah.
Yeah, she asked us to talk about soy-free vegan options and why some people may have to eat soy-free options. So we are taking this idea straight from Karen and bringing you some interesting information. I've learned things myself, even though I've been vegan for 5 years. So
Yeah, I've had
thank you.
anytime. Thank you, Karen, for spread some knowledge. Give us
There you go.
some
Forcing me
basics.
to look stuff up.
I've been because I've been doing this for almost 10 years, so I've had so many like ridiculous conversations, and people are like, "Oh, it's so bad for you," or like it's this that. We'll get in details here in a bit, and I have to
Right.
like explain. I've even had people tell me about how soy is bad because of our soy milk and but everyone's like, no, soy is bad because deforestation and all those things because in these vegan products, and you have to remind them that most soy is grown and fed to cattle and farmed
Right.
animals.
Exactly.
So the very very small. I think it was like I can't remember. It was like less than like 20% of soy that's grown, something like that, is
For
actually used for
human
human
consumption.
consumption. Yeah. So it's like
It's crazy.
not really. Uh, Again, it's a fairly small number, but I can't remember the exact one. But as with anything getting into diet or what it's good for you and bad for you, things like that, we have to make everyone aware. We're not doctors, we're not dietitians, we're not nutritionists. All the information and things we're talking about is based on our own personal research, our own personal
Yes.
experiences, information that we've gathered from the interwebs, but from reputable sources, things like that. Whenever I'm doing research, I always check who's saying it, where's it coming from,
Exactly.
if it's a study, who's paying for that study, that sort of stuff. But generally speaking, and a lot of stuff came from from health standpoint, came from like dedicated health websites like WebMD that taught, and other nutritionists and health sites that are
Exactly.
reputable sources for fair amount of general decent information. Um,
We're not doctors. We don't play one on the
no,
podcast. No, that's
no,
sad.
that'd be fun though. Probably get in trouble.
I could never.
So,
No.
uh,
What's that meme that I shared this week? Um, it was a woman with a scared face, and it says, someone who listens to true crime podcasts all the time, but you walk towards them with like a paper cut that's bleeding, and they're
oh
like,
yeah,
oh, and they shriek in horror.
yeah,
That's me.
yeah. It very
I
much
can
is.
listen to gruesome stuff, but don't bring blood near
Oh
me.
man, good to know.
I'm
Next
not a
time I have a
doctor.
cut, I'll just like send you a picture, like, ew.
Oh, we'll fight for sure
Oh yeah,
then.
all right.
That's the fighting words right there.
I'm gonna create a
Oh
Slack
no.
channel, add you to it. Just all those pictures of
Gross.
me and stupid stuff, hurt myself. So
All right.
what is soy? Generally, obviously, I'm not going to go to the molecular level of soy, but soy is a legume.
Oh man, I wanted to say that word. I love it.
Go ahead, let's say it.
Legume.
I'll go.
Legume. That's
Legume.
such a great
It
word. There
is.
should be more words like that.
It's be legume. It seems like
It's
it's a legume.
make it so
I
fancy.
just straight up.
It's just a bean.
Anyone who speaks French listen to this is wanting to hunt me down at this point. But it's a legume, as Meg likes to say,
Oh,
legume. Uh,
I do.
and it's used in a variety of products, as we'll talk about here shortly. It's used as an additive. It's very high in protein, so it tends to be used in a lot of like vegan and vegetarian options. Um, So yeah, it's just simply that. It's just like it grows in pods. You probably if you've gone to like a Asian restaurant, you'll see it like edamame, which is so
As a
just soybeans.
yeah.
Yeah, salted edamame.
We love edamame in this house, so
Yeah,
oh, we
that's
love soy in this house, really. Let's
speaking
just
of
say that.
umami.
Yes,
The forms in
ways
which it comes.
tofu.
Yeah,
That's my top soy option. Tempeh,
yeah.
edamame, like we said. I don't
Uh,
know what else.
there's soy curls.
Ugh.
Have you had soy curls?
No, I don't know why that sounds unappetizing.
It kind of looks weird. I have a bag of it downstairs. This looks really weird, but you can see them. Hey, getting audio in here. I'm getting some.
It
What
almost,
happens if you
for
don't
some
mute your?
reason, it sounds like it's like a like I don't know, like slivers of soy. That sounds weird to me for
That's
some
what it
reason. So
is.
I've never tried soy curls, but I know you
Yeah.
use them frequently.
Yeah, I use them fairly frequently. Maybe we can like do an episode of like what how to use soy, how to use soy options.
Oh, there you go.
Um, However, so yeah, it comes in like primarily tofu, different forms like some there's silken tofu, which is usually good for smoothies. Firm tofu, extra firm, and then super firm.
Hmm.
The higher the firmness, the higher the protein content.
Yes,
And
I always shoot for the ultra or super firm.
yeah, I get the
Also
extra
because
firm.
they
Yeah.
feel it feels I like the texture better a little bit. You
Yeah,
know, it just for some reason it tastes better once it's cooked too
yeah.
to
Super
me.
extra firm has more of a, for lack of a better phrase, a chickeny kind of a texture to it.
There you go. Yeah.
Um, and then there's like I said, there's tempeh, which you can actually get like tempeh bacon and things like that. There's multigrain and things and that such and things like that. I'll say that again just for and again the raw edamame, shelled or unshelled. Those are your most
Right.
common ones. Again, it's added to a lot of foods and through a lot of different names. If you have an allergy to soy or if you have a medical condition that is preventing you from doing from soy, much like most vegan things, you just need to read your packaging, read your ingredients. Soy may be in there. There's an episode of The Office
Oh God.
where Daryl complains that he developed a soy allergy at 43 years. At 43 years old, he goes, "Who develops a soy allergy?" No, 35. It was 35. He's a soy allergy at 35. And why is soy in everything? It's used as an
That's
additive.
what we say about milk.
Exactly. It's used as an additive a lot, especially for like it'll up the protein content, things like that. Something that's trying to add more
Hmm.
protein to the product. So yeah, it's so just keep an eye out. Read your packaging, read your ingredients if it's a medical issue for you, or if it's something you're just trying to reduce in your diet for whatever reason.
Right.
Yeah. So in the common, other than deforestation, you're killing the rainforest. Okay, well, you eat meat, so we'll have that
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah. Who are
Uh,
you arguing with?
right. The biggest thing I usually get from people when it goes to soy it resembles it has estrogen in it, and you'll grow man boobs, and it messes
Oh
up
my God.
it measures up your whole like hormones and everything like that. Well,
Hmm.
okay, so it has phytoestrogen. So we're mammals. We have mammalian estrogen. It has phytoestrogen. Phytoestrogen is like it's 1/1000th of the size and or potency. I hear it said both ways. I think it's people use it interchangeably of actual mammalian estrogen. So you would have to have an
Shit
insurmountable
ton.
amount of soy products to have it affect your personal estrogen levels.
Right.
However, it does bind to receptors, which actually can block some estrogen absorption. Which is why women
Oh.
who are going through menopause, it's recommended they increase their soy intake because it actually blocks the receptors, so they tend to have it helps with menopause issues or not issues, the process of menopause and help with the. I'm gonna go into a realm I should not go into.
I
I would
love
I
that
would
I'm the
interject
lady. I'm the lady on this podcast, and I
interject
had
into that
no
one.
idea.
So yeah, it's
I'm like,
recommended for
good
people
job,
with menopause. There's actually Brian Turner, who we talked about in our influencer
Yes.
video. He actually did a whole he did I think it was 30 days or 15 days, 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks of his only protein source was soy, tofu, tempeh, edamame, things like that. He had his testosterone and estrogen levels checked. He did this process,
Right.
and then he had him checked again, and his testosterone actually went up, and
Huh.
estrogen decreased. Yeah,
Interesting. Look, science.
science. Yeah. So yeah, but
Experiments.
science. Um,
That's
so yeah,
interesting.
and so the idea that it interrupts testosterone, that it raises your estrogen levels, is completely unfounded. It's phytoestrogen. It's so small in comparison of its potency and its reactiveness inside the body that it doesn't. What it does bind to, it actually blocks estrogen because your body can't process it as an estrogen because it's not mammalian estrogen. However, if you consume dairy, you're drinking the breast milk of a mammal
Exactly.
that has actual mammalian estrogen in it.
There you go.
Even if it's a
Ding ding.
cow or a goat, you're still, or whatever, dairy, cheese, milk, whatever that has mammalian estrogen in it. You're actually consuming mammalian estrogen by consuming a dairy product. Um, so
So the
can't
concern is unfounded.
correct. Uh,
But there are some people, like you said, that might have an allergy or a diagnosed medical condition in which perhaps soy is not recommended for them.
right.
I have a friend who has, I'm going to try to say this correctly, Hashimoto's
Yeah.
disease. I think I did it right. Go
Yeah.
me. All
That's
right.
it, right. Yeah.
And so she avoids soy because it is one of the recommended things for her to eliminate from her diet.
Sure.
So, there are people that just can't. There are people that, like you said, just want to kind of eliminate that or lower their consumption of it, just, for whatever reason it may be.
Yeah.
So, we have listed a few other names for soy. And again, Megan didn't know these. So, because I just don't think about it. I'm
Yeah.
a lazy vegan. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. If you, this is helpful, like I talk about packaging. If you don't see
Yes.
soy or tofu or or something very specific, these are some kind of common phrases that might be used in packaged products.
So there's soya, bean curd, miso, which I have seen that. Did you
Yeah.
spell this wrong, this next one?
I copy and pasted it.
Oh, also now I gotta say that.
Which actually
Uh,
sauce is spelled wrong. I don't know how that happened. I copy and pasted it.
well, then maybe the first one's wrong
I
too.
guess. Yeah, I corrected it. Behind the
Teriyaki,
scenes, everybody.
teriyaki
Yep,
sauce,
teriyaki sauce.
and shoyu.
Yep, show you. Yeah.
Look at me.
Well
God, I'm
done.
doing good.
And of course, soy sauce.
Yes.
If you see soy just at the beginning of anything like that, it's going to be soy based.
Yeah.
Yeah, bean curd is a common one, especially if you go to a restaurant and it says like an Asian restaurant, they'll have
Oh
something with bean
yeah.
curd. Bean curd is tofu.
Okay.
Um, and miso is a kind of a salty soy based paste
Hmm.
that's used in miso soup. It's also
Yes.
used in some Asian dressings. And obviously, soy is it's used pretty heavily in Asian cooking, Asian cuisine.
Right.
So if you are going to a place to eat an Asian cuisine, let them know. Maybe just tell them I have a soy allergy, and maybe they can direct you where to go and
Like
kind of
which
pull you away. Yeah,
options?
what doesn't use soy sauces? Maybe just use a non-soy based sauce or something like that. So
Okay, so let's get to the soy-free options. Is that what we're going to next?
well,
After base?
we have a note here. I want to talk about a little bit of how much soy is too much if
Okay.
you are consuming soy. If that's something you're concerned about, uh, it's obviously it's always recommended to have a balanced diet. Soy products should not be your only protein source, primarily because you need a full range of amino acids. Amino acids, of course, are used to build muscle and cells and things like that. So you need a full range of amino acids. You can't get that from just eating a soy. Now, soy products have I don't want to say a complete amino acid profile because almost all protein sources do, just different levels.
Right.
but it's a strong level of having a good amount of each one. So as long as you have a well balanced diet, having soy in your diet, you know, uh, a couple of times a day, um, uh, you shouldn't there's nothing to really worry about if you're consuming it 5-6 times a day. Again, what Brian Turner did is a bit extreme. He was proving a
Mm-hmm.
point of it doesn't cause these issues, but obviously it's not something would be recommended done forever or for an extended period of time. Even he would say that.
Right.
Also, you get kind of tired of eating tofu a lot. There's a reason my meal preps
I
only last
mean, speak for
4 days.
yourself.
Okay, for Meg, all she eats is tofu. You heard it here, folks.
I love tofu
It's
and
really good.
tempeh.
Air
Those are my
fry.
favorites.
But yeah, if you're only doing if you do it a couple of times a day, you're fine. Don't make it your only protein source. You need to have a balanced diet. Other legumes are great. Beans,
Yes.
legumes, nuts, seeds, black beans, lentils. I love lentils. I fact, my meal prep is rice and lentils with tofu, actually. Um,
See, simple.
as you said, if people who should avoid soy products are people who should avoid soy products are people who have any health issues, whether it be recommendation from your doctor or an allergy and something like that. So yes, I want to get those out there and clear so people understood the good levels
Our
and
little
and when you
Dr.
should be
David.
aware of when you should make some changes or reductions in your diet.
All right, so let's talk about some soy-free vegan options.
Mm-hmm.
So there is jackfruit. Not my favorite, but
Let
it's
me.
delicious.
I got this unpopular
Go.
vegan opinion. I'm okay. I
Okay.
can eat jackfruit. It doesn't really bother me too much. I'm not a huge fan
Right.
of it, just texture wise. Um, I am not just. This is very important because considering soy is a protein source, jackfruit is not a source of protein on a vegan diet.
Right.
If you're gonna have jackfruit, understand you're gonna need to have something else. So if you're doing like jackfruit tacos, have some like refried beans with it. Something additional protein source. Jackfruit is not a protein replacement for soy or tofu or tempeh, anything like that. It's very important
Okay.
to bear in mind.
All right. So I don't know if it's all field roast products, but I know it's some of them. I don't know if you can verify, David, if it's all of them, but I know that most of their sausages, their deli slices, and I didn't even know this until I did research some stuff for this episode, but they make a meatloaf. Excuse me? I'm gonna have to try that. I love their sausages, so I can't imagine what a field roast meatloaf was like.
Yeah, no, yeah, I found that looking through their products. Yeah. So field roast, our plant-based meat products do not contain soy as an ingredient. It's part of their FAQ.
Okay, perfect. So that's a great brand that you could find some options from. This is a tricky one and one to remember. The Beyond Meat does not have soy, but the Impossible Meat does. Sometimes my brain likes to switch those, so I have to
Right.
say it very slowly.
I just remember to me that
Beyond Meat
Beyond is
does
beyond
not.
stinky. So I'm not a fan. Beyond Meat, I mean, some people love it and that's great, and it's a great option if you want like a burger or some sort of like ground meat kind of
Right.
option. But I'm like, I can't do it. But yeah,
Cry baby.
yeah. But Beyond has a lot of other options. They have beefy crumbles and stuff like that.
That's true. They have sausages too.
Hmm.
The Beast Burger, which I have had before, those are pretty good. I can
Right.
find those in Publix. Hempeh. So it's like tempeh, but made from hemp
Yeah,
seeds.
it's from hemp.
Is that
Have you had
right?
this
If I,
before?
I have. Have
What
you had it before?
I
I
have.
like it.
I wasn't a huge fan. I think maybe I needed to press it or something really well, or maybe that's what it
Oh,
was.
maybe. I don't
Cause
know. I loved it. I thought it was very like on par. Like they were very kind of similar, and I liked it a
interesting.
lot.
Okay,
You have to try it again. I'm
I
gonna
have to.
make
But
you.
I mean, it's been a while. Maybe they've changed a little bit of the formula.
Right.
But I had it when it like first came out. I was like, hey, hmm. It's. I
That's
mean,
different.
the flavor was good. And protein
Hmm.
amount was on par with tempeh and a tofu. It was a texture thing for me. It just kind of it felt grainy. But again,
Right.
I
Yeah.
may not have prepared it well enough.
It's probably your fault.
It usually is. Most things are.
Um, falafel, which is one of my favorite yummy additions. I get falafel on my salads at Salata, my
Same.
favorite salad
We
place.
can't anymore though. They get rid of it.
I thought they had falafel but no tofu.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah, it was the other way around.
See.
My bad.
Hmm.
Oh.
Um, Dr. Prager's Super Green Burger is my favorite of his.
I don't think
And
I've
let
had
me
that
tell
one.
you, if you make this in public, like say in your workplace or around anyone who's not vegan, they're going to be like, of course, that's what you're eating because it looks like the greenest burger you've ever seen. They're like, oh, yeah, that's what you're eating.
Very
A green burger, you weird vegan.
stereotypical.
It tastes so good, though. For some reason, I think it's one of the first things I tried when I went vegan, and it tastes almost like charred. So I don't know. I like it. So that's a good option for people. Again, you're going to be made fun of though if you do it in public.
I'm used to it by now. It doesn't bother me now.
Well, I mean, you can beat people up. I can't.
Well,
Little.
I mean, that's still assault. I can't just do it. You can't just like go around like, oh, vegan burger, huh? And just punch him in the face. That usually will get you in trouble. I mean,
You're so nonchalant about it's still assault.
it is like they're you're either gonna get fired, or the police called on you, or both, depending on where you
Oh
are.
my God. You kill me.
Sometimes.
Okay, so another soy-free option is seitan, David's
Yes.
favorite.
And that's if you have tofu regularly and you want to change things up, I totally recommend seitan. A lot of things on this list, Hempe and falafel not being one of these. Today, Dr. Prager's is pretty much a whole food option. Most of
Yeah.
these are a bit processed. Seitan, it's literally just wheat gluten. It's wheat protein. If you have a gluten issue, whether you're a celiac or have some sort of insensitivity issue, this is not an option for you.
No.
But if you don't have that, and you're trying to find a high protein option, it's not a soy. Seitan is great. I got it was like $15. I got a 40 like a 4 or 5 pound bag of vital wheat gluten. And
Jeez.
yeah, in fact, this week my meal prep is I'm making these big salads. I'm putting seitan steak on top of them.
Ooh, that
So
sounds
it's good, like 20 to 30 grams of protein, depending on what you put in them. You can even add lentils to them to up the protein, as well as increase the amino acid profile. There we go.
I'm
Man,
like
my brain is on
trying to
this.
reach your mind and
Yeah,
I
so
can't do
yeah,
it.
so you can if you're doing a steak, you can add lentils to them and chickpeas, things like that, to change the texture, the flavor, the color. Also increases the protein and amino acid profile. Especially important if you're doing vegan bodybuilding or trying to put on muscle. But yeah, seitan is a great in my opinion, non-processed. I mean, you can say it's processed because you're extracting something from wheat to get
Right,
it, but
but
all you're doing is washing off the starch in a you really make a ball of wheat like you're making bread. You soak it in
I've seen
water
it.
until it kind of gets goopy, and then you literally just rinse it and rinse it and rinse it until you have this small ball of nothing but gluten, and it's like 20 to 30 grams of protein per serving. So
It's
it's a
insane.
great option.
As you can tell, David loves it.
It was delicious.
Another soy-free option are bean patties, which is not something I've ever had, David.
Really, that's really good.
Just
I like
don't.
do yourself a favor. Look up Blondie burgers. That's
Okay.
what I used to make these all the time. I haven't made them in a while, just more of a time thing. But the white bean burgers.
Okay. So, I mean, I've had a black bean burger, so I
Right.
guess
So
I
I'm
haven't
saying,
had a bean
yeah.
patty,
When I say
but
bean
for
patty, I
some
mean bean
reason,
burger. Yeah.
never seen a white one. That sounds interesting.
It's good. I usually use like thyme and sage to kind of like make it a little more savory in
Ooh,
that way. But yeah,
nice.
any type of bean patty, whether black bean, white bean, you a pinto, azuki, which is it's a fun little. It's just yeah. Try azuki beans. Do you like black eyed peas?
I do.
Yeah, try azuki beans. It's almost like a Japanese black eyed pea. They're small like black
Oh,
eyed peas. Really good, high protein. But yeah, really into a bean patty because you can really get some really good flavors in there, and
right.
you know,
That's true.
yeah, that's one thing you don't get with like your typical like veggie burger you're gonna buy in the store. You're gonna get a very typical meat flavor when you make your own bean patties, which is really easy. It's mostly just mushed up beans, carrots, any type of like vegetable you want to stick in there, and some sort of binder. You can use. I actually have used my favorite one I've ever used is toasted quinoa.
Oh my.
Quinoa pops
That's
like
gotta
popcorn.
add such a great little flavor.
It does. It's like nutty. It's really good. And quinoa pops like
Right,
popcorn.
yeah.
You hear it as
Yeah,
it's
you
cooking.
told me that, yeah.
Yeah, and when you toast it, it actually opens up, and then it soaks up all of the like the water and things come from the beans, and when you're cooking them. Or you can also use like oat flour, oats, rice, stuff like that is commonly used. But I found toasted quinoa or like oat flour is the best binder when I've made them. It's got to find the balance when you start making your own bean burgers. But once you find that
Yeah.
balance and like the herbs you like, you can just make them just like if you were making like old school burgers when you're back before you made that transition.
And that's something that would be easy to like meal prep and also to like freeze and have ready
Oh, for
for,
sure.
another day or whatever. Um, so another soy-free protein option is pea protein, which I've had a lot of protein powder that has pea protein in it.
Yeah, it's yeah,
Uh,
and pea's good. High again, high protein, good amino acid profile. I also do hemp protein. Hemp protein tends to be a little more expensive. That's why I didn't have it on the
mm,
list. Looking for more of the cheaper option. Trader Joe's has a pea protein. It's actually fairly well priced for per serving. So yeah, pea protein is probably your cheapest non-soy, at least that I've seen. Your cheapest non-soy protein if you're doing like protein shakes. I do a smoothie in the morning because I don't like anything heavy for
mhm.
breakfast. So I do a smoothie in the morning. I took have a scoop of I do soy protein. That's just what I use. But I did pea protein from Trader Joe's actually until they haven't really carried the vanilla one, where the one near me, and I like a vanilla protein powder. So I made a switch, but it's a great option.
Interesting. Vanilla, huh?
Vanilla, yeah.
I mean, I because it goes with everything.
It's neutral. You can put it with any flavor you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fine. One more.
You
We
just like gave
have
up. You're like, all
lint.
right, fine.
Fine, I give up.
I'll just go with vanilla. That's what you want to do.
Lentil or chickpea pasta. I eat a lot of lentil and chickpea pasta. I kind of prefer it over like other options.
It's
It
meatier.
just adds a flavor. Yeah, it adds a little something to your pasta instead of it just being kind of plain.
Yep.
Um, I'm an Italian woman, so I'm sure my grandmother's probably like, "What are you making pasta out of, you weirdo?" I'm
It's still
sure she's
flour and
rolling in her
water.
grave, like just
Yeah.
little lentils. It's fine.
Yeah. And it's one of like it's one of those options. Those like not I guess odd options or non-traditional options that doesn't. It's not really more expensive than traditional pasta.
Right. Very true.
I
It's
get
more common to find nowadays too.
Yeah, you can get like some crazy like high price options if you want. I get the Barilla red lentil pasta,
Yeah.
and it's
Mm-hmm.
just as much as a normal bag of or a box of pasta if you're gonna make spaghetti. And I use it in the same way as I've used pasta my
Yep.
entire life. It's really good if you don't want to if you want to have more of a lighter meal, don't want to stack a bunch of veggie crumbles and veggie sausages on it. You can have like that's your protein source, and you can put whatever else you want on it. It kind of help. It can help reduce the calories if you're watching your weight as well, because you're having to add the pasta plus the protein plus your veggies plus your
Right.
sauce. Your pasta is kind of taking the place of that protein source, and it's good. It's lentils. I'm a big lentil fan, because again, it's a whole food. It's hot, good amino profile, high protein. So I'm such a big fan of it. So for me, red lentil pasta is the over chickpea, but they're both really good.
Oh, I feel like I might put chickpea over lentil.
Hey man,
Look at us.
to
Let's
each.
fight.
That's it. All
Work
right,
it
ding
out.
ding, let's ride. Yeah, but
And I'll say something weird about this. They're prettier pasta. Like it is more vibrant
oh for sure.
colored. Your plate is going to look better, which your eyes, what do they say? Your eyes eat before your mouth does or
Yeah,
something. So it looks prettier than normal ugly yellow pasta. Look at me being mean to normal pasta.
that's right. Down with that. Down with little
I like
pasta.
I like a red pasta or like the crazy green ones. I'm like, that's pretty. Makes
Oh,
it a
yeah, I've
little
got the
more
green one before.
exciting.
Yeah.
We have some other options that aren't really protein sources per se. They're more like dairy free options, also, obviously, soy free options. Veganese,
Veganase.
Veganese mayo. Never use this one.
Never.
Oh no. And I know it's like the top vegan food.
This,
Everyone loves it,
this
but
has been around for so long.
I know, I used to use the Just Mayo, which you can like not find anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and now I use, what is the main one? Ah,
Hellman's.
yes, you saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I use theirs and I'm like so proud that a major company has, vegan mayo, but we love it. What?
So here's what's funny about Hellman's mayonnaise, vegan mayonnaise. So Hellman's sued Just Foods
Yes, they did.
over just mayo,
Mm-hmm.
claiming they couldn't call it mayo because it doesn't have like eggs and oil. That's what mayo is, just blended up eggs and oil with some
Right,
different
right.
seasonings and stuff in it. So they sued them and it got tossed out. Like it wasn't valid. They tossed it out. They lost. And like a month, 2 months after that, Hellman's came out with their own vegan mayo. And
Mm-hmm.
there's no way they developed it, produced it, put it out, everything within this month.
No,
So it's shady. It's like, okay, you were trying to
it
kill the
is.
competition before you put something in the market. It didn't work out for you. Um,
Yep, absolutely.
yeah, but yeah, of course, like you pointed out, just mayo, you can't find it anymore.
No,
So
sad.
the Hellman's has
Wah
kind of
wah.
filled that void. So I guess in a way they kind of got what
Do
they
you
wanted.
use veganese, whatever?
I don't keep mayonnaise in the house.
You're not a mayonnaise guy.
I don't use it often
You
enough.
don't really eat you don't really eat sandwiches like
No.
you, because I'm big into a chickpea salad sandwich, like almost like a tuna salad sandwich is what
Yeah.
it looks and smells like, and I love that, and you are looking at me like I'm crazy.
Well, no, I've started to make that for meal prep a couple few times. I'm like, I gotta buy a jar of like Vegenaise, and I'm not gonna use it ever
Never
again.
gonna use it,
And so
yeah.
I'll buy this whole jar of something to use like 2 tablespoons, and then it's just gonna go bad. It's such a waste of money. I'm like, I just can't get myself to do it. If I could find it like
Yes, that makes sense.
pre-made, maybe, but no, I'm not gonna. I can't do it otherwise. Yeah.
Fine.
I have used it before. Have you? I mainly used. I've used Vegenaise way back when I first went vegan. That was what I used. And then I switched to just mayo for a little while when I needed it, which was rare.
I
Yeah,
miss it so much.
I just don't
And there's
use mayonnaise.
just ranch too. Don't get me started. I'm gonna
Yeah,
start
the
crying.
the only like traditional condiment other than like I keep in the house is like barbecue sauce, ketchup, and mustard.
Lame, lame, lame.
Even though it's like stone ground, the grind little grits in it. But so that's probably the only like
Okay.
traditional condiments. I have a bunch of other like different weird sauces in the house for like just putting on
Right.
stuff, but that's the traditional ones. I don't keep mayo in the house. Moving
Well,
on.
good to know. David
Uh,
hates mayo.
uh, there's just I don't hate anyway.
So
We're gonna
mean.
get hate mail from the mayo people.
I know.
But the other option would be nut milks, like almond milk, cashew milk, not soy milk. Almond milk,
No
cashew
soy?
milk, no, hemp milk. I mean, it's you can make
Mm.
X milk from pretty much anything. X milk is also the new X-Men that's coming out next week.
Okay, buddy.
I heard myself say it and I couldn't help it. But the one thing to bear in mind if you're switching to using a non-soy milk, soy is one of the few milks that actually has higher in protein. So again, if you're just watching your protein intake, whether maybe you're trying to raise it for, because again you're getting into athletics, you need to learn about either maintaining your muscle you currently have or adding on to, and you need up your protein. You're taking soy milk out. Bear in mind might have to adjust your protein intake other places because you are having a slight reduction by going away from the soy milk.
Thank you, Dr. David.
Careful now.
um, there's also some cheese options. There's follow your heart cheese, my favorite, and diet cheese, David's favorite. So there you go. Um,
This one's my favorite.
not your favorite.
It's not my. I mean, flavor wise, not my favorite, but as far as versatility, usability, and it melts right. It stretches. I don't hate the flavor, so I mean, I would like
Right.
Miyoko's. I mean,
Oh yeah.
come on.
Oh my. I
But
devoured the rest of the mozzarella cheese.
I don't blame you. I'm not even
It
judging.
was so good.
I'm not even angry. I'm actually impressed.
And I think one time I tried a brand of theirs that I didn't like. Like some, is it they make a smokehouse cheddar or something like
Yes,
that? I don't
I,
really
I
like
like it.
that one.
I like it.
Mm.
I like smokehouse cheddar.
It tastes like a cheese in the can,
Yeah,
like old school. That I didn't like it, so I stayed away from that brand, even though it's like gushed about. But yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
But yeah, I mean, we've talked about cheeses before. You know, it's you're not going to find a cheese
Yes,
that's identical to your traditional cheese for a lot of different reasons. Um, but if you're looking for a cheese option, find the couple you like. Yeah, as you try to find, like, I always say, try to find a low tier you can get at your local store that you can put on a pizza and be happy with. Find your
great
mid
tip.
tier that's like, ooh, like mine's
Hmm.
that as a Kite Hill.
Yeah.
That's my mid
Hmm.
tier. Find your mid tier you can put on crackers and it's kind of like snack on. Put in, make some sauces with, and then find your top tier like Miyoko's. Find your three
That's
cheeses
like
you like for
special.
different reasons, right? And I would
Yeah.
go with that. But yeah, actually quite a bit of non-soy based cheeses out there, which is nice. So if you're a
Yes.
cheesehead like I was, there's plenty of options for you. There's have no soy in them.
And there's plenty of like dairy free options that are also soy free. So like we were said, Kite Hill, their yogurt, their cream cheese that is soy free. So and one of my favorite brands of cream cheese. So definitely Kite Hill is a win for everyone. And then Earth Balance butter, which I do use that. I think I got a different kind the last time because it was on sale, but I usually get Earth Balance. So there's a soy free butter option for you as well. So again, like we said, it's the same thing for whether you're vegan who eats soy or doesn't eat soy, you have to read your labels. You have to just double check, keep your eyes open, look at things, make sure that you are recognizing what you're eating so that if you're trying to eliminate soy, you don't not realize that you're consuming some because you didn't read the label correctly, which
Right.
is I've done that many a times in my life.
Yeah.
We do have some recipe meal suggestions that you can make with some of the options that we've already listed. So chili can be made with seitan, could be made with field roast products, Beyond Meat, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And really, you think about it, chili is mostly the flavors that come along with it.
Right, right.
Like I like honestly, using lentils. I like lentils are a great use for it. But more often than not, I use like a Beyond crumble. If I want to go something that's a little
Yeah.
more processed and not really too weird, I'll do like a Beyond crumble. That's probably the
Mm-hmm.
easiest thing to use. Or if you want to get your favorite veggie burgers, thaw them out and then kind of put them through a food processor a little bit. They kind of pulse it, grind it up, do that. I'll make seitan steaks and grind those up, have them like a steak
Yes.
kind of style chili. So yeah,
I've
it's
seen recipes of that.
yeah,
And you can kind of use those same ideas to make like a shepherd's pie. So those kind of replacements we just talked about could be used to make the base for a shepherd's pie. You can use some of the soy-free non-dairy options we just listed to make like the mashed potatoes that go on top. So you can definitely make a soy-free version of shepherd's pie, which is my one of my favorite meals to make. Haven't made that in a while actually.
I know. Yes, that's like it's usually
Um
your go
it's
to.
my favorite. It is because you can just put like every vegetable on the planet on there and also have an insane amount of protein because I put lentils in mine as well. And my family never even notices that they're in there because they're not big lentil fans. So that's a great option.
Sad,
Shaking your head
sad.
at my non lentil loving family. Another meal suggestion is a pasta bake.
Yeah,
David makes some good pasta
this is my,
bakes.
my common thing. I like using the lentil pastas for this red lentil pasta. I actually will usually make a like a ricotta out of tofu. Also,
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to avoid a soy option. Kite Hill makes a pretty decent ricotta,
They
and it
do,
is soy free.
yes.
As I looked it up, just double check it, and it is actually dairy free, egg free, gluten free, grain free, peanut free, soy free, vegan. So I think that.
Very good.
Of course, all Kite Hill stuff is vegan. But yeah, you can use a Kite Hill if you know ricotta in yours. And also, I use a like Italian sausage, whatever one's
Right.
available. So any type of Italian sausage. So I just and I layer it kind of like you do lasagna. Just I'll layer like I put the pasta. I'll make like a pasta sauce with the sausage and the veggies and some whatever. Usually tomato sauce. You can change up if you like something that you prefer, and just kind of make layers with the ricotta, the pasta, or the pasta, ricotta, spinach, and the sauce. Pop in the oven, or with some Daya cheese. Pop that in the oven until it all melts and conforms. That's it. That's a great meal prep. Also a great meal for the family. You can just make a big scoop with a spoon
Yes.
and a plate. You have everything you need. It's kind of lasagna like, obviously with the layering.
Mm-hmm.
But I like doing it just like what's I call it a pasta bake because it's individual pieces of pasta, and it's easier to like, especially if you have kids who have like smaller forks. It's easier for them to kind of stab and get. It also is for me it's a little more filling than a lasagna is. I used to
Yeah.
think I used to eat a big piece of lasagna and be like, okay, I actually have some sustenance here. But to me, having the individual lentil pasta pieces tends to give me a bit more volume. I think. Again, it could be eating with my eyes at that point, but it does make me feel a little more, it makes me feel
You
more satiated.
can also get super creative with the pasta bake. Like you can
Oh yeah,
go many different ways with that. Another recipe would be a seitan steak and potatoes. Very manly
yeah. I was thinking
meal
that's all
there.
I've put down. If you can go a little more, watching the game or watching the Tyson fight that you witnessed,
I did watch. I would,
and I ate it like I thought I would. I wasn't
yeah,
surprised.
you know, a
Yeah,
fake,
of course. But
fake fight.
maybe just watching like the game or something like that. Just wanted some kind of just almost like
Com-
filling comfort meal,
Comfort food.
right?
Yeah.
Seitan steak, potatoes, with a side salad. Super traditional. It's comforting. It's hyper filling. Yeah, that's actually that's pretty good. I might do it next week. And
Oh my gosh. And then we have white bean burgers, which you talked a little bit about
yeah,
earlier. So, um, any kind of like bean burger, which you could make all kinds of things on the side with that.
yeah.
So that opens up to a million different options as well.
And,
So,
and
um,
like I said,
go ahead.
I like bean burgers, especially homemade ones, because you can flavor it how you want. You can put your own flair with it. Having you can season it with if you want more of like a Tex-Mex, you can put taco seasonings in it and make like a taco bean
Right.
burger, things like that. Change your bean up, gives different flavors and textures. For me, the hardest thing always when I was making bean burgers is the binder and getting the binding right for the
Yes.
amount of
Mm-hmm.
the vegetables you use. What you put in it, it will change the moisture content. So you got to kind of find the right way to apply your binder, whether it's some sort of flour, oats, rice, toasted quinoa, something like that. But that's probably the biggest challenging part is getting your binding right, so it stays together when you're cooking it.
And this would probably be a spot where you might look at a cookbook or look on Pinterest or something to find a recipe instead of trying to, guess. Maybe get a recipe to kind of figure out how they do it and see if it works well for you and then kind of go from there. So, as with everything, experimentation, try new stuff. We hope that you guys have learned some stuff about soy-free vegan
And
options.
Karen, I hope we were helpful. Give you some info.
Yeah, let us know, Karen. um, all right. Well, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, or anyone else you get your podcast fix. Make sure to leave us a review, please, pretty please, and recommend us to your friends, family, coworkers, strangers, the delivery driver. Of course, follow us on Instagram at The Average Vegans or email us at theaveragevegans@gmail.com. Our show notes, links, and more can be found at theaveragevegans.com. We'd love to hear your vegan story, your favorite vegan treats, your episode suggestions, like we heard from Karen today, and what questions you have about the vegan lifestyle. And that's about it for today.
Yay! All right, thanks,
See
thanks everybody. See you
you
next
next
time.
week.
Absolutely. Bye.